Hello everyone, this is Anubrati Devnath, a trainee under Lexus & Company for the month of July. So as you have already watched the title below, what this video is all gonna be about, so let's get started. Now, what we know about a police complaint, let me get into an introduction about that. So, a complaint is basically an accusation that is made to a magistrate either by a complainant or an informant by informing the magistrate about the offence that has been committed. A complaint is lodged under the Criminal Procedure Code. A complaint is lodged for both the cognizable as well as non-cognizable offences, unlike an FIR that is lodged only for cognizable offence. So the introduction part talks about three important points. That is, what is basically a complaint. So basically, complaint is when you put into an accusation about someone else by a complainant and or an informant is called a complaint. The person who is making the complaint is will be called as complainant or informant. Now this complaint can be of cognizable offence, can be from non-cognizable offence as well. Complaint is basically different from FIR. Complaint means normal when you put into a complaint about by a letter to the police station, then it is a complaint. Means through the speed post. Usually the normal people can't make a complaint naturally or physically by going there. They have to make it through the speed post until and unless it's an emergency. And whereas lawyers can do that, lawyers can go and make a complaint physically, and when it comes to the direct complaint to a magistrate, then there are few exceptions in this rule other than what are the processes after a complaint has been done to a police. So this basically different from FIR, that FIR is a first information report which only takes into the grant of cognizable offences, not of non-cognizable offences. Now, what is a police complaint? The police complaint letter is an official notification addressing the police department that requires legal intervention or an adjustment following a particular situation or an event. So, a police complaint letter is basically a notification about something that has been a complaint of police department that requires legal investigation, trial, like that's are the actual processes after what a complaint has been done. The complaint gives details about the situation in order to enable the police department to take the necessary legal action to rectify the situation. To rectify what the complaint, according to the complaint, what problems has been done. The complaint gives needs to have all the details, specific details, time, date, venue, even exact direct saying of the thing, so like that. The complaint can be written by an individual or any company who wishes to report something. The complaint can be even about assault, lost items or disturbance of any kind. So complaint can be of anything, of about a person or about a lost thing or about any such thing or material or non-living thing or living thing. No matter what, they can be this can be held by or complained by a company as well, like a firm or by an individual. The complaint serves the purpose of an official document supporting an investigation on the reported matter. It is documented for future references. So the complaint is basically documented after you have completed your complaint for future purposes, so that it helps to keep the record of if any person has been what the record of the person is. The basic rule to write a police complaint is to be precise and to the point. The police complaint serves an official document that supports investigation on the matter reported. It is documented for reference in the future. Before writing a police complaint, we must be clear about what the complaint is all about, what are the requirements to be made, and what is the purpose of a complaint, and then proceed accordingly. So when you're writing, it's a general rule. When you're writing a complaint, there should be, obviously, when you're writing even an essay, there should be a classification of things what you will write on it. So for example, in an essay, you will write the introduction part and then the subject matter and then the conclusion part. And in a police complaint, you should be very determined about what you are going to write as an introduction, like what happened. No, actually, in a police complaint, if you're making it a short and swift, it's easy actually to make it short and swift. But if it's a brief, then you should always write the introduction part, means what introduction means about yourself and about that person as well, and then comes your fact about the matter, and then the what problems you have or faced, or what accusations you want to make, and number 3, the what you want from that. So these are the 4 differences in the classification of a complaint, how it should be done. The term complaint has been explained under section 2D of the Code of Civil Procedure. So the police complaint has been, actually the complaint has been defined in the section 2 subsection D of the clause D of the CRPC. Now magistrate under section 190 of CRPC can take cognizance of a complaint. After the magistrate takes the cognizance of a complaint, he examines the complaint as per section 200 of CRPC by examining the facts and witnesses. If the magistrate finds that the complaint is with merits, then the case is deemed to be committed for a trial, and the process is issued by the magistrate under section 204 of CRPC. If the offence is exclusively trialable by a session court, then the magistrate under section 209 of CRPC commits the case to the court of session. So basically it talks about the exception I told before about what if a complaint has been done to a magistrate. So if a complaint has been done to a magistrate, then there will be a direct, then it should be a cognizable offence. Obviously, no non-cognizable offence it's valueless. Like, it's okay, but it's valueless it's not so serious in the eyes of the magistrate. Then there will be immediate investigation, or there can't be an investigation if he wants. According to section 200 of CRPC, examining the facts and witnesses is according to him. Then 204 talks about the trial and the process issued by the magistrate under section 204. Then 209 talks about the offence exclusively trialable in the session court by the magistrate. So these are the few things. The aggrieved person may not necessarily make the complaint. Any person aware of the offence can make the complaint. That is, even a person who has knowledge about the offence that has occurred, to his knowledge he has a duty to disclose the same to the concerned police office. The general rule is that any person who has the knowledge of the offence that has been committed can file a complaint, even though the concerned person is not personally affected or interested in the offence. But there are certain exceptions to this that are in matters related to marriage, defamation, and the offences that have been mentioned in subsection 195 to 197 of CRPC. Any person in case of violation of general law, whether or not has suffered any particular injury, has a right to complain, and not only the injured person, but any person who is aware of the offence has a right to make a complaint. It is not necessary for him to be a complainant, hence the word informant just used in the first information report. So what I talked about is basically even a person, like what I read about, even a person who has not been affected directly can complain, or that's why we have already told that there is a difference between complaint and informant. He can act as an informant, although he can act as an informant in FIR also. In case of P. Kunhum Muhammad versus State of Kerala 1980, the court held that the report of a police officer following an investigation contrary to section 155 subsection 2 clause 3 could be treated as complaint under section 2D and section 190 subsection 1A if the offence if at the commencement of the investigation a police officer is led to believe that the case involved the commission of a cognizable offence, or if there is a doubt about it, an investigation establishes an only commission for a non-cognizable offence. So that's the case of P. Kuhuma Hamid versus State of Kerala. Thus, if at the initial stage of an investigation it is found that the offence that has been committed is a non-cognizable offence, then the report which is submitted after the investigation cannot be treated as a complaint under section 2D of the section 191 of CRPC. So, there is an exception when you are filing a cognizable offence, and after the first investigation, means there are processes of clarifying the doubt, investigation, then at the last comes trial, in the middle something comes and I'm forgetting something. So this talks about that when you're filing an cognizable offense, like it's a very important thing, and if it comes out after the investigation process that it's a non-cognizable offense, your complaint will be cancelled. That's a very important thing. Mr. Amit Khera versus Government of NCT of Delhi and ORS 2000 and Organization 2010. In this case, it was observed that an oral complaint that is made to a police officer also comes within the purview of section 2D. Although it has been explained in CRPC with a different section of CRPC and can be registered as a complaint, it was observed that there is no requirement of a formal writing complaint. Even an oral complaint is also sufficient to lodge an investigation and is covered under the law. The contrary judgments that were passed by the Session Court and the Metropolitan Magistrate were overruled, and the police officers were further directed to register a first information report. So hope you like this video. Thank you.